Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Horns and Hooves. We have today a special guest. We have Annie from FW Cattle Company, and we brought her on to talk a little bit about going from city life to farm life and having to learn that farm life. I feel like she's got a really fun story. And there'll be some other things in the end that I really love about their operation that we'll get into and talk about too. But let's start off with Annie. How did you guys go from city life to farm life?
We have kind of a wild story. We lived in town on the river, actually, and spent most of our free time boating and just relaxing. And we gave all that up. I know it's wild.
Whoa.
So that our children could have a simpler, better life out here in the country with these animals that we love so much. So yeah, it was a big transition for us.
That is a huge transaction.
Yes.
Or transition, I should say. That is absolutely huge. I've been from both realms too. The boating and fishing life to now I have a whole lot of I can't go anywhere. That basically
Exactly.
I cannot go anywhere anymore. I have went to locking myself down to not being able to go anywhere unless we get very lucky and like my daughter is covering for us so we can go to San Diego to watch our Highlands show.
Very fun.
Next week. But you guys flipped lives. Did either one of you have any knowledge whatsoever?
Yeah, so I had agricultural background. I went to college for animal science. Primarily, I grew up riding horses, and that's what sort of brought me into the animal science degree that I went with. Brent, my husband, his his animal knowledge was mostly confined to like dogs. And when we were growing up, he would help me at horses through your high school sweetheart. So he knows about horses and dogs, but he knew nothing about cattle. So it was kind of a fly by the seat of your pants, learn on the go thing for him. But I was blessed to have some knowledge to bring into this. We weren't completely flying blind.
So what would you tell people if they asked you? I feel like we do this a lot for learning purposes.
Yeah.
And so to help new people that are starting out, and even, I learned something from you guys that come on as guests every single time.
Yep.
So, but for new people starting out, when you guys made that transition, were there things that you wish you would have had in place before, or did you have all that in place before you said, hey, I'm going to start purchasing? Was your first purchase the Highland cattle?
Yes. So we had horses. I was boarding them at the time at another stable. So they were our first sort of animals on the farm. Things I would tell people is make sure that you have the proper infrastructure in place before you bring them home, right? And we talk to our customers about this all the time, making sure your fencing is sound, making sure you have proper shade, proper, structure for them to get out of the weather, shoots, that sort of thing. We had fencing, but it was not what it needed to be initially. And our cattle taught us that very quickly. We had one that was definitely a fence jumper. We're like, okay, this is not working. If they can hop over it, like without thinking twice, probably we need something a little bit sturdier.
That's how we know when our electric fence is not working.
100%. 100%.
We know when our electric fence isn't working because corn stalks, we have to put electric fence in some of our other areas. But when we get phone calls from people driving down the road, your cows are out. Dang it, the hot wire's not working.
Exactly. We had actually one of those situations last fall where our bull decided that he was going to make his way into a pasture he wasn't meant to be in. I was like, I don't think the hot wire is on because he's just like crawling through like it's no big deal. So they'll teach you really quickly where your weaknesses are, the things that you need to change because they take advantage every opportunity.
They do. I also had, so we bought, because I have a problem, we need a Highland Anonymous program. So my husband said I could start with 4.
Right.
But I don't know if you've heard my story.
No.
It was 44, and then it was like 144, and now it's like 214. He didn't tell me where the 4 had to land in that, right?
In the progression of numbers.
Yeah. So then we had to go buy new land.
Oh my
and
gosh.
That fence wasn't real great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my neighbors, big Angus bulls, were breeding their cattle and the pasture over.
Yeah.
Well, Vinny, which was mid-sized bull, probably closer. I mean, he was mid-sized. He was going over there. He knew how to use his horns. Must have been, the bulls must have been, the big Angus bulls must have been afraid of him or something because they ended up with like 12 or 15.
Stop it.
High Angus. I can laugh about it now.
Oops.
Because thank goodness they were good friends of ours.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny watching David's face. And they have a screensaver, and I think it's I don't know what it's true. We ended up having to put Vinny down because he ended up jumping. He would jump 6-foot panels. So after that, he would not stay in. So we ended up having to take him.
What do you do? Set him free range. Like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think my neighbors, because everybody has Angus around us.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law has dairy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how thrilled they would be with that combination.
No.
Well, I already know.
No.
They did. Yeah. They, thank goodness they were understanding. We got our fence fixed and have brand new fencing all the way around up at that pasture.
Same. After our initial experience. And my husband put that fence up. God bless him. He tried so hard. And he did a great job. But you just cannot pull wire by hand to make it sturdy enough that it's going to work. So we quickly learned that we needed some help, and we had a company out to do all of our fencing. So it works just fine now.
We had my brother-in-law out to do. Does fencing, and he's the one that did that pasture. But over the weekend, our other pasture up north, there's one part of it. We usually don't put cows in there, but we had to because we have cedars in them, and we didn't want to separate or run them back in. So we had to separate them. I was already getting phone calls. You have really cute baby calves out on the road that you might not want out there on a curve. No. And I'm like, here we go again. So we need to fix that fence too.
Yeah. We were in Cincinnati this weekend seeing my son's doctor up there, and we got a call also. Hey, you got a cow out. I'm like, oh my gosh, making 100 phone calls, trying to find help to get the cattle back in.
Yep.
Never ending.
And you know what? It seems like all the cattle, as soon as my husband leaves, and I need more than one person to wrangle them in. It seems like all of a sudden they hear, boss man's gone. Let's have a party out of the pasture. Not in the pasture, out of the pasture. Every single time.
This past fall, my husband, he was out of town, and I went to check cattle in the evening. We had a couple heifers too. And I looked at our round bale feeder, and this heifer was standing there, and you could see the hole in the hay where she had been eating for like a really long time. She kind of had a rut underneath her. She had her head stuck in the dang round bale feeder. I'm like, girlfriend, how long have you been there? What is even going on?
Yeah, I've
seen I had to call the neighbors, and they had to come over and cut the dang thing and get her out. I'm like, you guys knew Dad was gone.
Yep.
You did this on purpose.
They do. I swear. Mm-hmm. I swear. boss man's gone. Let's go have a party. Let's go see what we can mess up or get
Absolutely.
stuck in.
Absolutely.
It never fails.
No.
And then we have some Houdinis that it doesn't matter what you put them in, they would get out. We no longer have those Houdinis, but
No.
yeah, it just gets old. And I also don't want anybody to get hurt on the road. But
exactly.
Make sure that you guys have the capability to keep them in. I have talked to some of our transporters, and they will show up, and people have like a big cardboard box for these cows.
I have heard these stories.
Have you heard these stories too?
Yes. I was talking to Victor Ash at one of the Cowgirl Confident events, and he was talking about he'll show up to pick up a cow, and they're just like out in a huge field. They don't have them confined. They have they're like, oh yeah, they're out in the back 40. They have no way of getting them. It's just an absolute nightmare. So we were very purposeful with how we designed our fence, how our pastures are connected. They all sort of feed into one central dry lot where our chute is, which a trailer can easily be backed up to. So when we were designing all of this, we were very thoughtful about the way it would work and how it's a closed system. You can get from every pasture one fence or one gate at a time, and it just works. So all of that stuff needs to be thought through when you're building it, or else you're going to be going back and changing things, and it gets real expensive real quick when you're messing around with that stuff.
And I do really recommend having a headgate.
Oh, you have to.
So many people say they can get by with just panels. You can get by, but
sketchy.
Yeah, and you're way better off. Like right now, we are dealing with pink eye, which with the pink eye, we have a dart gun. We can use a dart gun for it. But if you don't have that and you need to get them in, or some of these that do have pink eye so bad, my vet comes out and gives them a shot in the eye, which I just cringe every time. But it has to be done, and then patch the eye so then they don't lose their eye. So there's so many things to think about that you don't realize, I can just put them out there and pet them and all that.
I know. And it's so hard with social media, and people get the wrong impression about these cattle, that they're teeny tiny and you can have them in your backyard. I've had people call and ask about the miniature ones that you can keep in your apartment. Have you seen that TikToker?
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
I have seen this so many times. I'm like, but what they're not showing you is, I'm just going to say it, all that shit you're going to have in your house. I could have said feces, but the guys, really, it's disgusting. I was going to go to AI school. Like, I was all for it until I watched my brother-in-law literally doing AI on one of our cattle, and it exploded all over on his face. And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So that can happen too. That's what's going to happen to all your furniture, your flooring, you name it.
Exactly. They call and I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you got to get off social media. That's not real. Even these micros, like they're not that tiny. They grow up and they're still small livestock, and they require all the things that big livestock do. And so social media, it just does everybody a disservice, honestly. But
it can, and especially now that we have AI to add to it.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, some of these images I see, I'm like, please just stop.
I get sent a lot of, oh my gosh, you need this. Yeah, it's a teacup.
I know.
Highlands.
I know.
Maybe my dream tonight I can catch one.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be in real life.
Well, if you can make that happen, you got the market in your pocket.
Right.
That's just magic.
But I don't love that idea. And I think you
Right.
don't love that idea either,
No, it's
because
sad.
I know that you're like us and we're not breeding for the smallest in the world. We're not breeding for color. We are breeding for conformation. And I've
Yes, ma'am.
seen you guys do the same thing. I feel
Yep.
like people overlook this, so I wanted to talk about this a little bit. People overlook conformation.
Yeah.
I have a group. It's hard for me to let a lot of posts through. There's so many bulls that need to be culled.
Mhm.
There is so many bulls that need to be culled. There's so many of those that need to be culled too, to be honest. And they think everybody
Honestly.
thinks everything should not turn into hamburger. And it's been a hard lesson for me. I won't eat
Mhm.
my own steers, and we have commercial cattle. I get mine from the neighbors because I get
Yes.
attached, literally get attached. But I also know that it has to be done or the market's going to be flooded. And with
Absolutely.
that, just stopped naming my steers.
Oh, that's a great
And
idea, actually.
some of them, if they're, because we have the mini crossbreed Highlands,
Mhm.
the Chondropositive. And with those, I'm not beyond sending a steer as a mate with a
Oh, yeah.
heifer so they're not
Yeah.
alone. Then later, when that heifer goes to calve, you've got that steer to be in the pen with what you're weaning.
I love buddy steers. We're actually getting ready to band one of our calves that we have right now to go live in Rhode Island as a buddy steer.
Ah,
Yeah, and honestly, he might be a nice bull, but for every nice bull, there's 10 excellent bulls. So you have to be really cautious with what you're passing on as breeding stock. And people, when they or send a message or call about these calves, they're not always asking the right questions. They're not asking about their structure. They're not asking about their feet. They're not asking. Sometimes they're not even asking about temperament. They look at color. They're like, "Oh my gosh, they're so cute. How big are they going to be?"
Mhm.
And those are the questions I get. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious! So there's a lot of education that goes into it as well,
And I
and
feel like
hard choices that
it
have to be made.
is. And I feel like our community needs to get stronger with this, stronger with educating people. And I understand that people want to start trying to earn their investment back maybe faster
Yes,
than what it really should be.
right.
Literally, we've been doing this for my brain 4 or 5 years. I don't know. But I still am really not I really still don't have my investment back. I
No, it
mean,
takes time.
it does. This is probably it's more of a hobby
Mhm.
in all honesty, because of what you have to when you start talking about the feed and the vet bills and the
Oh my
how
gosh.
you're going to produce and
Mhm.
all of that. And we got into the embryo world. That is very costly.
It's
Um,
so expensive.
it is. And especially when those embryos don't stick.
Yes, which, 50% of them don't.
And we just had an incident where we went and let a company that does this put our embryos into their cows, and then we can buy the bred cow after 60 days if it's still
Okay.
bred. Well, we
Uh-oh.
know that these embryos have been fine in the past, but you
Yep.
never know what weather, the climate, even the cow, all of
Yep.
that, if it's going to be, there's so many variables that can fall into place when you're doing embryos. We ended
Right.
up with only 5 out of 30 sticking. Yeah, that was
Oh, Lord. I'm
that
so
was
sorry to hear that.
a terrible loss. And we know
That's
from past
devastating. Gosh.
experience that we don't know what happened with these. You don't.
Right.
But our other ones that have the same pairings have stuck. So it just depends. So you get wrapped up
Mhm.
into a lot of money with that. But not just that, when you're first starting out,
Yep.
you have got to make those decisions. And those decisions, I feel like you know if that bull, you can grow him for a while, not just sell him straight as soon as
Yep.
they fall out. I have people asking me, what should I sell
Yep.
this bull for? And I will say, you want me to be honest right now with the market the way it is, take him to the sale barn. And it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard.
The bull calves are so hard. They're tough to sell, and you really don't make a whole lot of money at them. So we have gone to collecting our bull and getting heifer semen, and you just
So
get a
have we.
better, yeah, you just get a better return on your investment that way.
Mhm.
We were on the subject of, what we would tell people when they start off. And the other thing is maybe don't buy calves, it's
Mhm.
really, and we did this. We started off with 3 calves, and then we bought some older cows as well. But if you're looking to really know what you're going to get in the future, as far as, their offspring, and you're looking to get a return on your investment faster, buy older animals so you can see what they actually are going to mature to be. And so you can breed them sooner if that's your goal. If you're just
Yeah.
looking for, fun, fluffy pets, cool, get calves. That's amazing. But if you're looking for this to be a business sooner and to really make sure you're protecting your investment and you don't buy a calf that grows up to be something you don't necessarily want to be breeding, and now you're out that money.
Exactly. And I'm going to put in there, make sure you're buying from reputable breeders.
Yes.
We have a Highland page. Garrow Webb has a Highland page
Yep.
and there's some others, but those are really reputable places to find
Mhm.
good breeders. Make sure that you get a reputable mentor. I
Mhm.
mean, I have always been more than happy to help people find the right animal.
Yes.
Even if it's not from me, I would rather have them find right animal and start off correct. Buy something just because it's available right now.
Exactly.
And then
And
also, if you do buy that cow, the older cow, make sure that you know that it's coming from a place that has checked their cattle for BVD.
yes.
Because we did when we first got started, and I've shared this before on our podcast, we had the mom can be BVD negative or pi
Mhm.
negative, but that baby, if it's around anything that is sick with BVD, the first 0 to 100 days, they can be BVD pi and a constant shedder, which is an absolute nightmare in your herd. So
It's
there's
devastating.
yes. We honestly would not have known that this bottle baby had it.
No,
No
no.
signs, no nothing. She was actually one that was constantly getting out too.
No, no.
But yeah, but we kept hearing about this BVD. We didn't know anything about it. And
Mhm.
we started testing our herd. We found out that we did have one out of those. That
Mhm.
was back when we had the 44-ish
Mhm.
one, and it was the bottle calf we had bought was BVD
Gosh.
pie. It was not, I'm not blaming this on the owner, because the owner
Mhm.
actually purchased the cow bred from an auction.
Sure.
And so they didn't know what,
Yeah.
and that was before I realize now anything that comes to my place, they get BVD tested before coming near here. But that's one thing
Yeah.
about when you're purchasing the cows. And I think another thing, do you see this a lot too? Like with confirmation, they're telling you that this calf's going to be 42 inches, but their legs are like this long already.
I know. I know. I can't with the measurements. So, especially when one of the parents is chondropositive and the calf comes out negative, and now you're telling the customer that they're going to be, in between the mom and the
Mhm.
dad's height. But realistically, if one of them is chondropositive, you don't know where they're going to end up. So unless I have 2 negative cattle parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can give more of an accurate guesstimation of what the calf is going to end up being. But yes, I see that a lot in posts where they guarantee they're going to be a micro, they're going to be so tiny. And I have chondropositive cows that are about the same size as my chondro-negative bull. If you look at them in
Chondro
pictures,
does not always mean small.
no, it doesn't. And people really just need to do their research.
Yes.
And again, that comes down to reputable breeders. If you're buying from the right people, they will be honest with you about that kind of stuff. So yeah, you just need to be really cautious. And back to the BVD, another thing that people need to realize is that these health certificates, a vet can write a health certificate on an animal that they have never seen if they have been to your property within the last 30 days and you call your vet and you say, hey, I'm shipping this one out next week. Can you write me a health certificate on them?
Mm-hmm.
They'll do it. So you just have to be cautious and make sure you're asking the right questions and asking for the correct testing and proof, realistically, proof that this stuff has been done before they end up at your farm. And then we always quarantine cattle when they get here, away from the rest of our herd, and watch
even
them
if
for
they
good.
don't look sickly.
Yeah,
and even
exactly.
if they come from a reputable place,
Mm-hmm.
because there could be something in transport. It might not be
Yes.
obvious, and it's not the transporter's fault, because I guarantee you every transporter that I use, they will not let a sick animal on. But you just never know. They don't know, like BVD pie, if they're showing no symptoms, they may not know that cow is, or calf, I guess, is that. And now you've infected, and your cattle might not come up with have any signs of illness, runny nose, whatever, or diarrhea, until they're a week in. It's just like us. When we get exposed to a cold, it's 2 to 5 days, whatever gestation usually. So
yeah, exactly. So we do 10 to 14 days in quarantine before they're allowed to have any even over the fence contact. Like, they are away from the rest of our herd until we can make sure that they don't have any symptoms and that they're doing okay. Because then, you're putting the rest of your herd and your investment at risk. You just have to be cautious.
And that goes for water troughs too.
Yes.
Not sharing water troughs.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just letting my son know to come get this dog that's at my foot.
That's okay. I probably have some running around here too. I don't know where they're at. I seen how much you have the high beliefs in the confirmation, and for me, as you, I think I would rather have that confirmation, have them be structurally sound, than have them be teeny tiny. I mean, I've got some teeny tiny
that's
cows.
Not the goal. The goal is,
I
absolutely.
have teeny tinies, but I probably won't breed them.
Every single one of them, and that's the other thing. You have to be really cautious when you're buying these calves and they're teeny tiny, because if you're looking to breed them in the future, you could run into trouble. I was speaking with a potential customer about this. They came out over the weekend and they were saying how they wanted to get 2 chondropositive heifers and a negative bull. Which, okay, but I was like, I strongly encourage you to go the other way.
Flip that, please.
Yes. Way easier to manage a smaller bull, and you're going to have much better outcomes for your heifers if they're bigger. Because
and my vet does pelvic checks, and you need to do a pelvic check on those.
Yep.
And that could be 3 to 4 years before they're ready.
Yep. And we talked about that.
Yeah. And we've learned some hard lessons, some very hard lessons we were never going to have chondro in our herd whatsoever. We ended up with an accidental chondro to chondro. The steer I still have, he's negative, but he was okay, right? Then I've had one that was bred, and we went and aborted it.
Mhm.
And when we aborted it, it ended up, we lost the mom too. Because we thought, okay, if we abort this, then we don't have to worry about it, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, we lost the mom on that. And
Oh, I'm
we're
so
not
sorry
sure
to
if,
hear that.
yep. So there is so many things. And usually, I don't like sharing this. I don't like people to think differently about farms that have these things. But I do this for education. I share my experiences because I've lived the hard side of it.
Yep.
The the incidents that we've had. And I want people
Mhm.
to realize what can happen when you do that. We
Yep.
actually have lost some calves that were born from a chondro mom because they
Mhm.
were hard pulls.
Yep.
And or the calf grew so big that it come out and we use, I mean, small bulls, and my bulls are normally they're going to throw smaller calves, some of them, like what we've ran into. This should have worked out better than it did. But
Sure.
they were so curved under, and there was nothing. We tried rehabbing, everything possible, and
Yep.
we had that happen, and he was a beautiful,
Mm.
beautiful.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous calf, and it was our dream calf.
Of
Um,
course.
but he was
It's always how it
born
goes.
bigger, and he was a hard pull. And then we took him in, or we took mom in for the C-section. We had a
Yep.
newer vet. She tried the pulling too. We mom's fine, and we'll keep her. She'll never leave, and she can probably be bred back. I'm just not going to
Mhm.
breed her back. We may use her and take some oocytes because I love
Yeah.
mom, but I'm not going to put her through that again.
No,
So,
that's traumatic. It
mhm,
really is.
it is. So we've had enough issues that Sean's like, you need to sell all these chondro girls as pets.
It's tough. It really is.
It
So
is.
we actually we use a product called a MooCall device.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen this?
Mm-hmm.
So
I have two of them.
it's fantastic. And we make sure that they go on all of our first calf hoppers, and definitely we only have two chondropositive mamas, but they go on them. And they have worked
Yes.
for us every time. It's really
Good.
fantastic. So if people don't know how these work, they go on the head of the tail, and just the way the tail twitches when the mama's having contractions. If it goes on for an hour, you get an alert to your phone. I think it's hysterical because my phone moves. Does yours moo when you get the alert?
I'll be honest, I haven't set mine up yet, but I got him after I
Oh
had
my
that.
gosh.
Got him after I had the incidences.
Yes. So
Mhm.
it literally will moo, and it scares the crap out of me every time. It'll be like 3 a.m. I'm like, is there a cow in the house? What did the kids do this time?
Oh my gosh, that's
um,
hilarious.
It's saved us a couple of times with mamas that have had trouble and have really needed help, needed the calf to be pulled, or we had one that actually needed a C-section. She came to us, unbeknownst to us, she was bred. The people had AI'd her, but they thought she came back into heat. She did not. And we went to
Oh.
go sync her up, and I was like, oh, hey, there's a baby in there already. Fantastic. Uh,
At
uh,
least she caught it before they gave the meds.
Oh, I know, right? And she's a small heifer, and they had bred her to a full-size Highland. Full-size Highland.
So that's another story. Do not always believe people when they tell you that their bull throws small calves.
Exactly.
I am very, like, I won't even breed mine yet to my bulls that I have now because I
Mhm.
don't know the percentage, like the birth weights. I wish we
Sure.
did more of this. I wish we kept track, even in the registered world, because we also have the registered, our show Highlands.
Mhm.
I wish they kept track of birth weights a bit more. I mean,
Yeah.
I keep track of them, but a lot of people don't.
And and you never know. So they tell you they throw small calves. But, they might be small calves that come out with huge heads and huge shoulders. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like these little brick shit houses, but they're
Yep.
tiny,
Yep.
so they're not easy births. They might be
No,
chondropositive, but again, they're thick.
they are thick.
They
Mm-hmm.
are thick.
And that makes a
And
huge difference.
yeah, absolutely. And that's, again, something that needs to be talked about. I spent over an hour on the phone with another farm that's just getting started the other day, and they were just asking all sorts of questions and wanting advice on things. And that's kind of one of the things that we talk about is you have to be aware that it's not always sunshine and roses when it comes to these births. You need to be aware of when your cows are calving, and a lot of times you need to be there. They could need help, and if you don't know what to look for, to even
Mm-hmm.
recognize that they're gonna calve, and if you don't know just a little bit of basic knowledge about how to help them while you're waiting for a vet to come, you know
Or get them loaded. That's another thing. There's a lot of vets that
exactly.
won't come to your place.
Yeah,
Mine, I'm fortunate. If it's late at night, they want me to go to the clinic. So if they have to
sure.
do to have their sterile equipment and stuff. I mean, if it's
Yeah,
an absolute dire emergency and they need to come out, they will. But some vets, you have to figure out how to take them, and those
yes.
mamas are not getting up sometimes.
No, not at all. And a lot of folks don't have a trailer when they're just getting started. So they get into these situations thinking that there's never going to be a situation.
Hmm.
There's never going to be an emergency. It doesn't even occur to them. So it's really important that you're educating. Again, comes back to education and making sure people are aware and
Yeah.
they're prepared. And that's
And
one of the things that we focus on.
I feel like as a community, we can all do better about educating versus just trying to sell that animal.
100%.
I
And
think
if
that,
if you're a buyer and all they're wanting to do is, okay, how soon can you send the deposit?
mhm,
When do you want to pick them up? If they're pushing and pushing, I would walk.
yes. Or my husband said, if I sell them tomorrow, then I can sell them for this price,
Yeah.
or things like that. I think proper education about sizes. Like I tell people, I'm 5'4". My
Mhm.
sisters are 5'9" and 5'10". As far as
Right.
as far as I know, we came from the same parents. That's what they've always told us.
Are you the
But
milkman's daughter? What's
right.
happening here?
Yeah. But, some of us are shorter than the other two.
Hmm.
And
You never know.
we can't predict that with Highlands. When I first got started, I had a high expectation that I wanted everything to be under 42 inches. Girl. I learned real fast. They grow to 42. They can grow to 42 inches real quick.
Real quick.
Real quick. Like what
Yeah.
just happened?
Yeah.
I had a high park. He's still he's breeding some dairy cows and stuff right now. Actually, I sold him to somebody else. They had a different purpose for him, and it works for what their purpose is. So, but he was supposed to be around 42 inches, and he's 50.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's 50-inch bull.
That's wild.
Yep. He's a sweetie. Absolute
Yeah.
sweetie. We had some neighbors that came and asked us if we had any bulls, and I said, well, we have this one. He's kind of big. Oh, we just need something that'll breed our jerseys. So
Okay.
perfect.
If that works for them, excellent. Everybody has different
Perfect.
purposes, and
Mm-hmm.
that probably saved him from being hamburgers. So
Yep.
whatever.
Yep. It did.
Whatever.
But yeah, I think we just need to focus more. And I really like that you guys understood that or understand that just from looking at your posts and stuff. And I think that's awesome. And I love how you educate your customers and the right way. Um,
Yes.
It's so
We
important.
actually went out to Virginia. We sold a couple of heifers to a family in Virginia, and these were their first cows on their farm. They didn't have anything set up, but they wanted to make sure they were prepared.
Yep.
So we worked with them and Four Rivers to get a chute and everything set up, delivered at the same time that we were delivering the heifers. We drove out to Virginia. We stayed for 4 days. We worked with the family to set up their chute, their pens, did a ton of
Wow.
education
Awesome.
with them. We just want to make sure that
Yep.
they are on the right path. And
Mm-hmm.
since they've called me a couple of times, I adore them.
Mm-hmm.
She called me one time late at night and had a cow that was having a tough time in labor and was like, I don't know what to do. And so we FaceTimed and, worked with them to get that calf out. And that's kind of what we tell all of our customers. Once you are part of our family, we're here for you, whatever you need, even if it's a silly little question or if it's a big ask, just let us know because we want you to succeed. We certainly want our animals to have long, healthy lives.
Absolutely.
So, whatever we can do to assist in that, we're here for it.
100% agree with that. That is so awesome. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what else. What have we not covered about you guys? You guys are in, where'd you tell me you're at?
Northern Illinois.
Yep, Northern Illinois. And
Yeah.
you guys have a website, don't you? Do you have a website? I
Yes.
think you do.
Yeah.
Yep.
fwcattlecompany.com.
Check out their
And
website.
yeah, I try desperately to keep up with it, but forgive me if all of our calves aren't posted in a timely fashion.
We won't
It's
talk
so
about my
hard.
website. We have our Creekside Highland Haven. That's for the mini crossbreeds.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our Creekside Highland Legacy that is for our
Oh my gosh.
registered, because you don't want to put those two in the same category. You get a lot of heat for that. So we have two, and I need to update ours. I have a fabulous gal that helps me out, but she's like, I can't do this unless you send me photos. Like, I need your help. Okay, I'm
Right.
on it.
Exactly. Can't
But
read your mind of what you've got on the ground, huh?
yeah, exactly. Well, Annie, I appreciate it so much. Is there anything
Yeah.
else that you can think of that I think we covered almost everything on new people, like helping them to get started and getting started on the right foot? And
I
that
think,
confirmation is
girl,
way more important than size and color.
correct. If you want an animal that's going to have longevity, structural soundness is where it all starts.
And be produce great calves.
Exactly.
It's so
Exactly. And that's the
important.
goal.
And yes, some of us have certain colors that we like more than the others.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I like them all.
Once you get started, it's like you want your pasture to be like a crayon box. You
Uh-huh.
want a little bit of everything out there. I don't
Yep.
want it to be saturated with one color or another. And it's, if you have a calf crop of all white and silver,
That's boring.
people are going
So
to get
boring.
bored.
Hmm.
Want something fun.
I love black. Like
They're
I
gorgeous.
and I have we have produced so many gorgeous black bulls. If I
Yeah.
could keep them all, I would.
Yeah.
But black bulls, black cows, ugh, I love them.
Mhm.
I love them.
Oh my gosh. We had a black that was wild type a couple years ago, and she had almost like this red um,
Uh-huh.
hue to her. It was absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, love black, love all the colors.
I do
So
too.
fun. And yeah, just structurally sound animals is where it's at.
It is. And Highlands are noted for not having the best feet. So if you don't know
No.
anything about feet,
Oh
have
man.
somebody help you,
Yeah.
because Highland feet are so important.
Mm-hmm.
They are known to have bad feet, and you don't want
Yes.
them to be super bad, because that's important on both sides, the maternal and paternal side of it, on having good feet.
Yeah, absolutely. And run into big, big problems. And you don't want to have them, trimmed multiple times a year. You get scissor toes and nasty stuff going on, and it's just not worth it. So those are questions to ask too. Ask to see pictures of their feet and of parents' feet when you're buying these calves.
Video.
Yes, 100% video. I love the FaceTime with my customers if they're far away.
Side views are important. The front view of how cute their face looks is not that important, honestly.
No.
It really isn't. At this time of year, if I have to send a picture of my calves, I call it the teenage stage that they're going through.
They're wonky.
It's the puberty stage. You know, the kids that have the greasy hair and pimples, or when we were growing up, same thing happened.
Yeah.
Right now, my calves are kind of going through that stage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't hold it against the calf.
They'll get there.
They'll get there.
Faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Some time.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you hopping on with us today. This has been so fun.
Of course,
and I'm
Lori,
glad I got to meet you in person.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we'll have to talk again soon.
Yeah, I see you guys on the internet. You know, I see you guys on the Facebook, on the Book of Faces.
on the Facebook. We're out there on the Facebook.
Yeah, I see you guys there, but it's always great to put a photo with the
an actual human for real live people, not just AI out there.
Right, exactly. That too. All right, thanks guys. We appreciate you hopping on again, and we will see you next time with another episode of Horns and Hooves. We have another farm coming on to talk to next week. Thank you guys.